Hello boys and girls, and welcome back to another video. I haven't been on for a little while. I've been incredibly busy at work and I'm shattered, but there we go, I'm back now. Tea. But one of the things I have been doing during this little break from YouTube is working on a a revision 3 Kickstart 1.2 Amiga 500 motherboard. Now this, if I can square it into, this is a very early version motherboard, and it says on it rev3. Now when I boot this board, it won't boot to the Kickstart, as you can see on the screen behind you. What it tends to do is not a lot really. It boots, doesn't boot to a black screen. It is a black screen, and the floppy drive doesn't actually click like it's seeking, like you would expect it to. But what it does, it sort of whirs very slowly in slow motion, in a very un-Amiga-like fashion. But the motherboard itself does appear to have a little bit of work done it. There is a jump wire I see here, 12 to -12, near the Paula, which I've never seen before an Amiga motherboard. There's also some track cutting and solder bridging on the board, which I also have never seen before. I see the MOS 8371. Agnes has been resoldered, has the CPU socket. The Kickstart is a 1.2. The Kickstart says 1988 on it, but every other chip on the board is 1987. So this is quite an early board. It's stamped, or the sticker on the board says 1987. That actually might be the MOS that I've put in, the Angus I've put in. I do have a 1987 one here in front of me, an 8371. I might have changed it. This might be the 8371 from 1987. So every chip on here is 1987. Is that true, or am I making that up? Week 13, 1987. 1987, 87, 87, 87. Everything is 87 except the Kickstart, which is 88. But I might have changed that. I might have put the 1.3. In fact, I have. I've put the 1.3 in, I think, just to try it. So what I've done is I've disconnected my my 1.3, and I've tried swapping a few chips to see if it bursts into life. It doesn't. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to recap this Amiga tomorrow, probably, or if not, at some point. I'm going to change the big barrel caps here and see if we can get this old girl to boot, or at least do something. It's in perfect condition, as I can see. The motherboard, it just doesn't boot, which is very odd for an A500. On an A500, other than a chip itself, obviously. I mean, nothing should leak apart from the capacitors. The battery won't leak because it doesn't have one. So there should be no excuse for an A500 not to work, other than chip failure. But the chip count on the board, if you can see, is amazingly low. There's very few chips on the board. It's a 512. It's an early revision 8371, which is, I think if you put a 512 RAM expansion on it, it will give you 512 chip and 512 slow. It won't give you 1 meg chip, although I could be incorrect. I'll need to check that. But it just won't boot. I've changed, like I said, I've changed the CPU, I've changed most of the chips on it. It won't boot, just a black screen. and the floppy does seem, so I'm not quite sure what's going on. I'm quite interested to get this going, as I also have a very early A500 case with the embossed Chicken Lips logo. I would like a Chicken Lips keyboard if I can find one, but we will see if I ever will. So that's one project I've been doing. I'm also downloading the Vampire OS, which is a pre-configured CF card, which has Picasso 96 all set up for the Vampire card. So when that downloads in a little while, I shall try that and see how we get on. Be interesting to see how it works. I think it has quite a lot of free software on it. So we'll see. That's if I don't melt in the meantime. It's scorching in England again. It's cloudy this evening, but it feels like 25 degrees. It's too. But we'll see. So I shall be back shortly with another video of the Vampire. If not, I'll be back on tomorrow doing a stream, I dare say. But I'll definitely be on over the weekend anyway. So until next time, boys and girls, cheerio.